Now that you have a plan, we get to talk about executing it. I have a fairly simple formula when it comes to pulling off plans, though simple does not necessarily mean easy. Honestly, a lot of what I'm about to put here was codified when I met Leonard Snart, aka Captain Cold, a sometimes villain in the TV series The Flash. I've had a similar outlook for some time, and 3 of our defined stages match almost identically, so I was absolutely thrilled when I saw the episode that captured his quote.
Make the plan, execute the plan, expect the plan to go off the rails, throw away the plan.
I have plenty to add, and a couple extra stages that I believe are crucial, but generally speaking the concept is similar. Here are the 6 steps. Decide, make a plan, execute the plan, trash the plan, improvise, persist relentlessly. Number 1, decide. When it comes to accomplishing whatever it is you're after, this is a stage that is not to be overlooked. Simply deciding that you are going to do everything in your power to accomplish the thing can become a burn the ships moment. If you're not familiar with the story, this refers to the conquest of Hernan Cortez over the 600 years strong Aztec Empire, where legend tells that in order to motivate his men to accomplish the impossible, he decided to burn the ships they rode in on. The purpose was to remove the possibility of escape and limit the options to success only. Fun fact, there are historians who argue that he did not actually light them on fire, but sustain that he did indeed destroy the ships, though feel free to do your own Googling. Making a decision and sticking to it is critical to the plan. If you're waffling on whether or not it's actually worth your time, or are getting hung up on how to accomplish it, or are even hesitating because you're not sure it's possible, you're not deciding. Deciding to do it is the motor. It will drive you through the how and the doubt and the questions of value. Once you've decided to do it, everything else is just an obstacle, and those are made to be overcome. Whether you're after a meaningful conversation with somebody or aim to own a strip mall in the next 5 years, deciding to do it is a commitment, and that cannot be undervalued. Number 2, make a plan. The plan. The glorious plan. Whether you're following 6 steps to accomplish anything, mapping out a road trip, or taking over the world, having some sense of what you will do in succession allows you to feel confident about being prepared. It's not the motto of the Boy Scouts for no reason. Making a plan forces you to think things through, attempt to foresee, and therefore increase your odds of overcoming obstacles, and it builds confidence in overcoming said obstacles. Your plan could be a 3-pronged attack or a 20-step system, but at least knowing what you intend to do in the order you'd prefer to do it will offer a sense of purpose, reinforcing your decision to do it in the first place. The last part of making a plan should be the decision to stay the course. No turning back once the plan is in motion. This has exceptions, of course, as well as what to do in those cases which are described later, but this should still be part of the plan. Number 3, execute the plan. Akin to step 1, you must now go forth. You've studied, collected your data, routed the possibilities, and planned. Now get to it. An airplane is just a giant expensive metal tube if it isn't flown, and a plan is worthless if it isn't used. Nobody's promising your plan is perfect or guaranteeing that it will work, but if you never ask, the answer is always no. If you've decided to do something and gone to the trouble of making a plan for it, the only thing holding you back at that point is you. This is factoring in that your plan doesn't include steps that are beyond the realm of physics or reality, like suddenly sprouting wings because you'd like to fly. Execution relies on your decision to do, and your tenacity to move forward should be fueled by that crucial first step, because if you follow the steps so far, part of your decision is not turning back from at least trying. There are going to be times when it may be valuable to change your mind, but at least get out there and try. Number 4, trash the plan.
A wise man once said, everyone has a plan until you're punched in the mouth.
The absolutely best laid plans can be torn asunder when something you didn't anticipate happens. Even if you did anticipate something, it could occur with variables or intensity you didn't anticipate. Maybe you tried to start a business and then COVID changed the world for a couple years. There are going to be elements that are wildly out of your control, and this is where a fancy business term comes in, popularized by the aforementioned pandemic. You pivot. I'm going to invoke the rare instance of using actual fighting for this metaphor. When your opponent makes a sudden move to one side of you or the other, the generally accepted process is to shift your weight so that you can turn your body as though it's on an axis, spinning around a rod. This is designed to keep your weapons, like your hands or feet, between you and the opponent so they can't take a shot at you where you're vulnerable, like your back, for instance. If your opponent moves to one side and you don't pivot, they get a nice free shot at your kidneys. If you started a business and then a worldwide virus stopped people from coming in your door, because it was practically against the law for a while, it's foolish to keep marketing in a manner that is designed to get people in your door. Many businesses switched to delivering, going virtual, or other creative ways to get their products and services to their customers to ensure everyone's safety, but also stay in business. They had to trash the plan. But here's the beauty of this process. Having made a decision meant that many weren't just willing to close up shop and give up, though many had no options. Having had a plan gave them a model to either follow or learn from, a drawing board to go back to, not to mention the practice of making plans, which they now will need to utilize again. Having executed their plan to the best of their ability gave them data, experience, hopefully some resilience, and a path they either know works or now know won't work. Knowledge is potential power. Number 5, improvise. So you've pivoted. At this point, the plan has at least been useful in getting you this far. But there are things that are beyond planning, things that surprise us. This is where flexibility of ideas comes into play and your ability to adapt becomes more important than the plan. Just remember, the plan was part of what got you here, and you're still free to come up with a new plan on the fly. Plans cannot account for every variable. They can't solve the problems for you. But being prepared for the unexpected is a huge step to already having it handled. The rest of the battle is to be flexible, tenacious, and adaptable. Improvising, however, is not the end of the cycle. Number 6, persist relentlessly. This is the other bookend to our accomplish anything protocol and is equally imperative to the first. There are countless stories out there about obstacles pioneers faced, whether in business, spiritual, or relationship pursuits, that forced them to trash the plan, repeatedly. How did they accomplish it anyway, despite falling to the bottom, having it blow up, or being punched in the face time after time? They got back up after each failure and kept on going. You've likely heard this from thousands of different stories, angles, or Instagram feeds. You might be surprised when you learn you have more in the tank than you thought, because it often happens at our lowest points. The principle. Decide, make a plan, execute the plan, trash the plan, improvise, persist relentlessly. In this video, I referenced more in the tank. If you haven't seen it yet, click here to find out how embracing discomfort can be extremely valuable. Thanks for watching the video, and be sure to subscribe for more like it. Click on the notification bell to be alerted to new videos.